Hiya.
I'm Amelia. Before I get into this topic, I got a new voice, so, without further ado, here we go. Company history. Founded in 1935, Arkansas-based Tyson Foods Incorporated is the world's largest processor and marketer of chicken, beef, and pork. The company produces a wide variety of brand name, processed food products, including fresh meats, processed and pre-cooked meats, refrigerated and frozen prepared foods, and animal feeds, and is the recognized market leader in almost every retail and food service market it serves. A $24 billion operation, Tyson supplies about 25 billion pounds of chicken, beef, and pork per year to McDonald's, Walmart, and most major supermarket and restaurant chains in the United States. The company employs about 120,000 people and operates in 32 states and 22 countries. The Tyson family controls 80% of the company's voting power. 1935 to early 1960s. The early years. During the Depression, John Tyson moved to Springdale, Arkansas, with his wife and one-year-old son Don. In 1935, he bought 50 Springer chickens and hauled them to Chicago to sell at a profit. 2 years later, he named his business Tyson Feed and Hatchery. Over the next 13 years, the company prospered by buying and selling chickens, aided by the post-war boom, which brought improved kitchen appliances and the first supermarkets. Gradually, however, Tyson became involved in raising chickens, which allowed him better control over the quality of what he sold. In 1947, the company was incorporated. 5 years later, Don Tyson graduated from college and joined the company as head of operations. Father and son were said to have made a dynamic team, the older Tyson more cautious and the younger one pushing forward. For example, Don convinced his father to raise rock Cornish game hens, a market that Tyson would one day dominate. For the next 6 years, Tyson focused on expanding production facilities, and, in 1957, the company opened a processing plant in Springdale, Arkansas, the site of the company headquarters. Tyson also introduced its first ice pack processing line, which brought the company into a more competitive industry bracket. By achieving more complete vertical integration, its dependence on other suppliers lessened. During the early 1960s, many amateur chicken producers were lured into the market by the drop in feed grain prices and the easy availability of credit. As a result, broiler production rose about 13% between 1965 and 1967. The glut that followed caused big price cuts and accounted for about $50 million in losses in the industry. Several small companies were forced out of business, but the demand for low-priced chicken soared. People were eating 4 times as much chicken as they did in 1950. Mid-1960s through 1970s, a growing company in a new industry. In 1963, Tyson went public and changed its name to Tyson Foods, Incorporated. It also made its first acquisition, the Garrett Poultry Company, based in Rogers, Arkansas. In 1966, John Tyson and his wife died in an automobile accident, and Don Tyson took over the business as president. Technological improvements in the 1960s fundamentally changed the poultry industry. Broiler production had become one of the most industrialized, automated parts of U.S. agriculture. Through the development of better feeds and better disease control methods, chickens were maturing more quickly. These improvements, combined with increased competition, meant lower prices for consumers, but for processors, it meant lower earnings. In 1967, despite a 37% gain in sales, Tyson lost more than $1 per share in earnings. Nonetheless, the company took advantage of a situation in which several smaller companies were floundering and, with its acquisition of Franz Foods Incorporated, continued its pattern of buying out smaller poultry concerns. It also began to give its corporate name more visibility, printing Tyson Country Fresh Chicken on its wrappers instead of the name of the supermarket to which the chickens were sold. In 1968, Tyson went to court with 2 other processors when an Agriculture Department officer alleged that the processors had discriminated against Arkansas chicken farmers who were members of an association of poultry farmers. At that time, processors customarily hired farmers to raise their chickens. Tyson and the others had been accused of boycotting and blacklisting association members in 1962. In 1969, a federal appeals court ruled that the Agriculture Department had erred in treating the chicken processors like meat packers and, therefore, did not have the authority under existing laws to take any action against them. Also in 1969, Tyson acquired Prospect Farms Incorporated, the company that became its pre-cooked chicken division. That year, Tyson produced more than 2% of the nation's chickens, 70% for retail sale and 30% for institutions. The company had grown from 15 to 3,000 employees and operated 5 chicken processing plants and 4 protein processing plants in northwest Arkansas and southwest Missouri. During the 1970s, Tyson continued to grow and diversify. In 1970, a new egg facility was built, and in 1971, a computerized feed mill and a plant in Nashville, Arkansas, were completed. Also in 1971, the company's name was changed from Tyson Foods to Tyson Foods. In 1972, Tyson acquired the Oklahoma Foods division of Consolidated Foods Corporation, including 3 new plants, as well as Crispy Kitchens Incorporated and the poultry division of Wilson Foods. That year, Tyson began selling the Ozark Fry, the first breaded chicken breast patty, and also bought a hog operation in Cresswell, North Carolina, from First Colony Farms. 1972 was a shakeout year in the poultry business, and several large processors sold out to those with better prospects of survival, easing competition. Because of the rising prices of beef and pork, chicken consumption was increasing at a rapid rate, and new products and technological developments seemed to promise improved profits for the industry. Tyson was already a leader in introducing new products like its chicken patty, chicken hot dog, and chicken bologna. By 1979, it had 24 specialty products. Tyson also operated 3 plants that used the new deep chill, rather than ice pack process, in which the moisture of the bird was frozen at 28 degrees 1 degree warmer than the temperature at which chicken meat freezes, leaving the meat still tender and doubling shelf life to about 25 days. In the early 1970s, Tyson closed its unprofitable plant in Shelbyville, Tennessee, but reopened it in 1974 to produce more popular processed and pre-cooked chicken products. In 1973, Tyson bought Cassidy Broiler Company, another small poultry concern, and in the next year acquired Van Tress Pedigree Incorporated. A civil antitrust lawsuit brought against Tyson and other broiler processors in 1974 for conspiring to fix, maintain, and stabilize broiler prices was settled in 1977. Tyson agreed to pay a $975,663 fine to about 30 chicken purchasers. In 1978, Tyson acquired the rest of Wilson Foods Corporation. We'll continue the rest tomorrow or Wednesday. Get the chicken nuggets and chicken breast strips from Tyson at a store near you. Get it in the freezer aisle. But anyways, we'll catch you on the flip side.